From the Phillipsburg High School Gymnasium on the campus of Phillipsburg High School in Lopatcong Township, New Jersey, Stateliner Sports Network proudly presents Phillipsburg High School Wrestling. Tonight, the Stateliners play host to the Terriers of Delaware Valley. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Moore, and along with Bob Kerp, we'll be bringing you all the hold-by-hold of tonight's matchup. Phillipsburg Delaware Valley Wrestling is brought to you by Rothman Orthopedics, proud to be the exclusive partner of the NJSIAA and to support Stateliner Athletics. Visit RothmanOrtho.com to make an appointment and stop dealing with pain. Get back to truly living. By Ahart, Frinzi & Smith, recognized as one of the leading insurance agencies in the United States. Find out more at afsinsurance.com. By Urco Credit Union, 450 Hillcrest Boulevard in Phillipsburg and 2240 Northampton Street in Easton. Great rates, low fees. Clean up those after the holidays bills with a low-cost personal loan. Visit us at urcocu.com. By the Firth Youth Center, a proud promoter of youth athletics. Find them at www.firthyouthcenter.com. By Open Mic, for exclusive coverage of the Stateliners and the entire Hunterdon, Warren, Sussex area, follow Mike Weileman's blog at mikeopen.blogspot.com. Follow the Stateliners on Facebook at Phillipsburg HS Wrestling. And follow Phillipsburg Wrestling on Twitter at Peberg HS Wrestling, Peberg HS, WRESTLIN. Stateliners come into the match with a record of 11-2 on the season. The Terriers come in at 15-6. Phillipsburg is coming off a big victory over Montgomery last night, 58-9. While the Terriers were last in action over the weekend against Warren Hills, and that was for the Raritan Division Championship of the Skylands Conference. And the Blue Streaks came away that one with a 49-16 victory. Do have a number of common opponents between the two schools. Delaware Valley beat Hunterdon Central 35-32. The Stateliners winning 35-19. Del Val got past Kittatinny 39-28. The Liners did that by the score of 40-18. Delaware Valley took care of Hillsborough 48-18. The Stateliners 81-0. And both schools lost to North Hunterdon. The Terriers by the score of 60-12. And the Stateliners were upended by the score of 30-24. We're going to begin the match tonight at 170 pounds. And right now, public address announcer Ed Mancinelli getting set as the teams come up match side for the introductions. And Phillipsburg's Delmy Cruz will sing our national anthem.
Whose broad stripes
Delmy Cruz with the singing of our national anthem. At 170 pounds tonight, the Stateliners have weighed in Nate Sestowney, a sophomore, 23-5, or Jay Polito, a sophomore, 3-3. For Delaware Valley, either Nick Ferry, a senior, 7-7, or senior Andrew Larson, 9-11. 182, Matt Sidepski for the Terriers, a senior, 7-14. For Phillipsburg, either sophomore David Pearson, 17-10, or senior Jake Wicks, 20-8. 195, Zach Zukowski for Delaware Valley, a senior, 17-8. For the Stateliners, either Pearson or Wicks. 220, Nick Moose for Delaware Valley, a senior, 19-10. For the Stateliners, junior Gage Horvath, 18-9. 285, Ryan Sutter for Delaware Valley. He's a senior, 11-3. For Phillipsburg, senior Cody Krutz, 19-7. 106, Derek Skeppens for Delaware Valley, a senior, 17-12. Facing Phillipsburg sophomore Sean Stashalitis, 10-12. 113, Robert Grogan for Delaware Valley, sophomore, 15-12. He'll face Phillipsburg sophomore James Day, 21-6. 120, Cooper Gill for the Terriers, a junior, 18-10. For Phillipsburg, it'll be junior Logan Matsko, 15-6. 126, Gage Crater of Delaware Valley, a senior, 25-4. Facing Phillipsburg sophomore Joe Inamorato, 19-6. 132, Chase Christie for Delaware Valley. He's a senior, 15-13. Facing Phillipsburg junior Jason Tino, 16-12. 138, Corey Crater for Delaware Valley. He's a junior, 16-13. He's the brother of Gage. He's facing Phillipsburg freshman Hunter Cleaver, 4-6. 145, Shane Reynolds for Delaware Valley. A senior, is 15-11. Facing Phillipsburg senior Jared Kukor, 15-9. 152, Garrett Teddemer for Delaware Valley. He's a freshman, 19-8. Facing Phillipsburg sophomore Matt D'Onofrio, 15-11. And we'll end the night at 160, Tyler Lagan for Delaware Valley. He's a freshman, 9-10. And for Phillipsburg, it'll be either sophomore Nate Sestowney, 23-5, or sophomore Jay Polito, 3-3. Frank Leitner and Mike Internosha will be our referees tonight. Both are veterans of the Stateliner gym this season and in past seasons, as the captains and head coaches are meeting at the center of the mat. And for Delaware Valley, that's Andy Fitz. Andy is in his 13th season, 218 wins. Del Val won the toss. They took even. Andy, 13th season, 218-82. The series, Phillipsburg leads it 37-6. It began in 1974-75. Coach Fitz is 0-11 against the Stateliners. Phillipsburg coach Dave Post is 9-0 against the Terriers. The last Delaware Valley win was 42-9 in 2005-2006. Nate Sestowney's going out for Phillipsburg, and Nick Ferry for Delaware Valley. He is a senior. Ferry is a senior, 7-7. Sestowney is a sophomore, 22-5, and he's in on a cradle on Ferry as our referee Frank Leitner looking in as Ferry tries to kick out of that cradle. Sestowney's got plenty of time here and gets the fall in 16 seconds. Stateliners jump out in front, 6-0. $182. Del Val has to be out first. I believe this is Matt Sidepski. He's a sophomore, 7-14. And for Phillipsburg, it's sophomore David Pearson, 17-10. Pearson decisioned Zadepski in the Hunter and Sussex Warren, 2-0. Mike Internosha will be the referee for this bout. Stateliners are in their predominantly garnet singlet. with gray and white trim. Terriers in their blue and gold. That's a gold across the chest. Del Val in blue block letters. Wrestled 30 seconds, no advantage here at 182.
Pearson at 184 to 181.7 for Zadebski.
Pearson trying to underhook the left shoulder. Gives up on that. Circle each other to the right. One minute to go here in a scoreless first. Stateliners with a 6-0 lead in the match on a fall with a cradle in 16 seconds by Nate Sestowski. Pearson still trying to underhook that right shoulder, and the wrestlers break apart. Pearson sneaks a look at the clock behind our left shoulder.
Zadebski was pinned by Kittatinny's Robert Bruce, and Jake Wicks pinned Bruce.
Pearson trying to set up a throw, now ducks down to the right leg at the knee, but they go off neutral at 11.5 seconds to go.
It was a good finish and turn by Pearson.
Pearson tries to tie up the left wrist. And this first period going to end scoreless here at 182. Matt Zadebski is the son of Jim Zadebski, a very successful heavyweight for the Terriers, back 1982 grad, and that's one of the Delaware Valley teams that knocked off the Stateliners. Pearson underneath to start the second. Zadebski right hand tight waist, gives up on that. Trying to break down Pearson. Left hand thigh pry. Pearson trying to spin on his head as he gets to his base. Pearson will stand, tearing at the hands of Zadebski. Del Val coaches yell to cut him, and there's the escape for Pearson. Stateliner sophomore has a 1-0 lead. David finished 5th in the 100 and Sussex Warren. Honorable mention in the LehighValleyLive.com rankings. Trying to underhook the right shoulder. Under a minute to go here in the second. Tries to snap down. Zadebski then dives in on a double. Steps through, and they're off neutral. Pearson ran out of space trying to get that takedown.
I'd like to see him hit that one again. When they were locked up and circling to the right there, Pearson had Zadebski kind of in bad footwork.
40 seconds to go here in the second. Pearson trying to snap down on the head. Now tries to underhook the right shoulder. Wrestlers break apart under 25 seconds to go in the second. Pearson's come close to a couple takedowns, but could not finish in bounds. Wrestlers will backpedal to the center. And we're through two. It's a 1-0 lead for Phillipsburg's David Pearson. Zadebski's going to choose neutral in the third. He will not go underneath Pearson, who is a very good leg rider. David has 32 career wins. Already has more this season than he had a year ago as a starter in that Stateliner lineup. Zadebski's got to be the aggressor here, trailing 1-0. Zadebski finishing 4th in the opening tournament for Del Val, the Pandy Lay event, Wendy Pandy Lay. Wrestlers kind of changed the level a little bit. Paw at each other. We've got a minute to go in the bout. Zadebski fakes a shot. Pearson then tries to go in for that tie-up. Zadebski shooting in on Pearson's left leg. Pearson arching his back. Zadebski wants to try and pick him up. And now Pearson trying to work a butt drag of his own, trying to spin around. Can he get it? There's a takedown for Pearson. So he counters that Zadebski attempt. And Pearson's up 3-0 and trying to turn Zadebski to his right.
It was a good counter and more aggressive than I thought Pearson would be. I thought he would be content just to be draped over top and walking around Zadebski's midsection.
He's got that right leg in, trying to keep Zadebski on the mat, and off they go at 11.2 seconds.
Pearson's had good situational awareness this year. Not beating himself.
Gets the right leg in as Zadebski tries to stand. That stopped potentially dangerous by Mike Internosha with 8 seconds remaining. Wants to try and check Zadebski back. Mike Internosha looking, and David Pearson will win a 3-0 decision at 182. We're through 2. It is Phillipsburg 9 and Delaware Valley nothing. This should be a good one here at 195. Jake Wicks of the Stateliners. He's a senior, 20-8. And Zach Sukowski for Delaware Valley. He's a senior, 17-8. Sukowski finishing 2nd in the Hunter Sussex Warren. And Jake Wicks finishing 3rd.
Wicks giving up 16 pounds here.
And a much taller
That goes without saying.
Zach Sukowski. Frank Leitner will be the referee for this one. Del Val won the JV match tonight. 9 bouts were wrestled. Terriers winning 27-9. Wrestled 30 seconds, no advantage. Sukowski only a part-timer in the Del Val lineup last year, 2-3. And I think he's been a very pleasant surprise for head coach Andy Fitz at 17-8 this season. Also a runner-up finish in the opening Del Val tournament, the Wendy Pandy Lay. Wicks reaching for the right now, looking at a high crotch. Trying to pick him up. Sukowski reaching behind the right leg of Wicks. Jake still wrapped around that right leg. Sukowski keeping his weight high on the back of Wicks and reaching for Wicks' left leg. Jake trying to drive through, lost him on the try. When he tried to go to the trip, he lost him.
Just too much length there for Wicks to get Sukowski off his feet.
Of course, there's the Del Val connection with Jake Wicks, his father, Jamie, a 2-time state champ for the Terriers. "15 seconds to go here, scoreless first. We were scoreless in the first at 182. Wicks tried to snap him down. Now looking for a throw with Sukowski, and Wicks was able to come out of that. First period scoreless at 195. Wicks will go underneath to start the second.
Sukowski had leverage there, but Wicks slipped free.
Jake stands. He's out in 4 seconds. And Wicks of the Stateliners has a 1-0 lead. Jake's a defending District 13 champ, 6th in the region last year. He has 44 career wins. That is that's third on this year's Stateliner team as far as career wins goes. .40 seconds gone here in the second.
Got a leg before, but he's got it again.
Wicks in on a double this time, and again tried to step through. And Zukowski now ties up both arms of Wicks, fights that off. So Jake's been in twice.
Yeah, it's not his natural move, Mike, but I think he wants to sweep it to the side because Zukowski's just too big for Wicks to elevate.
.45 seconds to go here in the second. Jake's been the aggressor. Leads at 1-0. Go to the tie-up. Jake, stalling warning on Zukowski. First warning. Jake driving in on the right leg, can't pick that leg up. Zukowski again looking for some kind of throw or a bear hug. Under 15 seconds to go here in the second.
I think the height differential is actually working against Zukowski too, because he can't elevate Wicks to really get him for the throw.
Through two, Wicks 1-0. Zukowski is going to go underneath in the third. Stateliners lead the match 9-0 on a fall by Nate Sestowney and a 3-0 decision by David Pearson, who wants to try and check Zukowski back. Zukowski stands, he's out. So we're 1-1 in the third and back to working takedowns. Wicks has come closest. This has not been able to finish. A couple times he's been in on a double. Now wants that single outside the left side in a high crotch. Zukowski arching his back. Jake still has the leg. Zukowski underhooking Jake's right shoulder and then reaching for a leg. Jake still trying to, now Zukowski again with pressure on the head. Jake trying to work a trip. High crotch again, and Zukowski pops out of that with 1:03 to go in the bout. Zukowski pushing on the right shoulder. He has the only stalling warning in the bout. .40 seconds to go in regulation.
Wicks can just get him to back up. That might be enough.
There's a stalling call. Wicks has a stalling point. He's in on the right leg, trying to go to a double and again lift him up and can't. And now Zukowski wanted a trip and a throw, can't get it. 23 seconds to go in regulation. I don't know if Jake knows he got the stalling call or not, but now he appears to be trying to keep his distance. 10 seconds to go. Zukowski reaching for a leg, can't get it, dives into the leg. Wicks sprawls. Wicks tried to set up a throw. 4 seconds to go. Zukowski dives in at the edge. Stalling warning on Wicks with 1.6 seconds.
Yeah, it was the first time Wicks really backed up, but it was the right move.
2-1 decision for Jake Wicks of Phillipsburg at 195. We're through 3. It's Phillipsburg 12 and Delaware Valley nothing. .220. Del Val has to be out first, but Gage Horvath coming out for Phillipsburg. And this is Nick Moose for Delaware Valley. He's a senior, 19-10. Horvath's a junior, 18-9. Horvath decision, Moose 7-5 in sudden victory in the Hunter and Sussex Warren.
It was a 5-2 win for Horvath a year ago.
Del Valle coach Andy Fitz telling me before the match that he felt Del Valle needed the last 3 here, and they have come up empty at 195. Horvath looking for a bear hug. Trying to jack up Moose. Took half a shot at the right leg. That's something we've seen more of from Gage Horvath lately, some leg shots. Again, wants to work a bear hug. Trying to jack up Moose in front of the scorer's table.
Yeah, he worked legs really well the last match.
Now he's in on the right leg. Picks that right, lost control of the right leg. Again, wants the bear hug. Then tries to snap. He has by far been the aggressor here in the first, but no stalling warnings yet. Trying to throw and then reach for the right leg. There's a stalling warning from Mike Internosha.
Moose has 5 pounds on Horvath.
Horvath trying to get control of the left wrist. This will be the 3rd consecutive bout with no score after 1. Horvath's choice, or excuse me, Moose's choice. He's going underneath to start the 2nd. Phillipsburg ranked 7th in the area, according to Lehigh Valley Live. That's 2nd among Jersey schools in the Lehigh Valley Live area. North Hunterdon is at number 5. Warren Hills is at the 10th spot. Moose has an escape, and he leads Horvath 1-0. Lehigh Valley Live with Nazareth, Bethlehem Catholic, and Saucon Valley 1 through 3. Moose trying to get in on the left leg of Horvath, who sprawls. Horvath front head and arm, trying to spin around to his right. Moose blocks him off with his right arm. Horvath trying to set up the spin again. Pressure on the head. Again, Moose trying to block him off. Maybe a mouse trap here from Horvath. Pressure's on the head. Trying to set up a power half. Does not have control yet. It's Moose trying to block off Horvath's left leg. Still no advantage. As Mike Internosha looks in. Horvath thinking about a butt drag. Trying to set up that mouse trap. There's a takedown and back points. Horvath hit the mouse trap. 40 seconds to go here in the 2nd. Now spin around, maintain control. That's a 5-point play for Horvath on the mouse trap. And he leads 5-1.
I don't think we've seen that from Gage before.
Keeps his weight high in the back of Moose. Now wants to get out to the right side. Hammerlocks the right wrist. Goes for a claw on the right shoulder. And Horvath's going to ride out this 2nd period. He's ahead 5-1 after 2. Horvath's choice. 5-1 after 2. Horvath going underneath in the 3rd. Gage is a defending District 13 champ. 4th in the Hurricane tournament. 3rd in the Hunter and Sussex Warren. And ranked 5th in this weight class by Lehigh Valley Live. Horvath trying to block off with his left arm. Moose trying to spin around behind, maintain control here with a front head and arm. He's up on his toes. Horvath on his knees. Horvath comes up to his feet, pops his head out, has the escape, and Horvath leads 6-1. Horvath with 38 career wins. Moose of the Terriers has 37 career wins. 18 last year, 19 this season. Horvath won at a Russian tie, couldn't finish it. Moose finishing 4th in the district last year and 3rd in the Goals Holiday Tournament in December. Wrestlers break apart. 45 seconds to go with Horvath on top, 6-1. Moose dives in on Horvath's left leg. Horvath pressure on the head, horses that left leg free. Right in front of the Stateliner bench as he goes in on a double and can't finish. He'll run out of room. That move got Dave Post up out of his chair.
That was a good finish from Horvath. He reacted a little slowly to that takedown attempt from Moose.
Tries to set up a throw. Moose wanted an inside trip. 15 seconds to go. Well, things here are not going the way Del Val coach Andy Fitz would have hoped. The Stateliners, Gage Horvath, will win a decision at 2:20 by the score of 6-1. We're through 4. It's Phillipsburg 15 and Delaware Valley nothing. 285, Ryan Sutter for Delaware Valley. He's a senior, 11-3. For the Stateliners, it will be senior Cody Krutz, who is 19-7.
Both wrestlers at 240. Sutter was a 5-2 winner a year ago.
Frank Leitner will be the referee for this one. Cody Krutz, another one of those liners, already has more wins this year than all of last season when he had 16. And he had 11 as a sophomore. Cody with 46 in his career. Sutter reaches for the right leg of Krutz, and Cody will backpedal to the center. Sutter trying to tie up the left arm with a Russian tie. One minute to go, scoreless first. We will be back here Saturday night, 6:50. Stateliners hosting Ocean Township out of the Shore Conference. Wrestlers break apart with 40 seconds to go here in the first. Sutter with half a reach for the right leg of Krutz, and he couldn't pull it in. He's trying to work something out of the tie. Krutz not able to work a power shrug. Short time here in the first. And it'll be 4 bouts in a row with no score after 1.
They both seem comfortable just not making a mistake in the first period.
Cody Krutz underneath to start the second. Cody 3rd in District 13 last year and 5th in the region. Finishing 5th in this year's Bethlehem Holiday Tournament. 5th in the Hunter and Sussex Warren. Krutz trying to roll. And he's got a reversal.
Just hipped up over him.
Krutz on top, 2-0. Now trying to keep his weight on the back of Sutter. Sutter stands. Sutter is out. and it's 2-1. .40 gone here in the second. Krutz with a second period reversal, and Sutter with an escape. Sutter reaches for a right leg, can't pull it in. Wrestlers kind of eye each other up.
Sutter was a bit more aggressive in the first period, but neither one really going very far.
He was second in the district last year, fourth in the goals, and fourth in the 100 and Sussex Warren. 35 career wins for Sutter. He had 23 a year ago. Half a shot at a double. Krutz able to fend that off. And we are down to 15 seconds to go in the second. Gonna be Ryan Sutter's choice in the third. Krutz reached for the leg, can't get it. And we will go to the third with Krutz ahead 2-1. Sutter will go underneath in the third.
Got out quickly after the second period reversal by Krutz.
Krutz picks up on the left ankle to flatten him out. Weight high on the back. Sutter trying to fight to his knees. Krutz trying to hammer lock the right wrist and get out the right side. He's got that hammer locked. Sutter got to his knees, and he is out with 1:28 to go. So we're tied at 2. Krutz took that weight off him with that hammer lock, and Sutter was able to get to his knees and then his feet and get out.
Yeah, he came around front, didn't have enough leverage. They're getting Sutter flat, which was more than he did in the limited ride that he had in the second period.
Sutter was looking for a bear hug, couldn't get it. 1 minute to go in regulation, tied at 2. Sutter got behind Krutz, and when he went to take him down, lost his balance, and Krutz ends up with the takedown and a 4-2 advantage. It's more that Krutz was able to keep his balance out of that maneuver more than Sutter was.
Yeah, it's really counters both times, Mike, and just better hip position for Cody Krutz. Hipped up and over for the reversal in the second, and worked his way through that takedown attempt from Sutter here to get the takedown for himself in the third.
It's going to be a caution on Cody Krutz. First caution of the evening. Sutter stands. Krutz drops down to the right leg, trying to drive through, and they're almost off the mat and onto the gym floor, with Krutz still in control at 32 seconds.
Yeah, Sutter had his arms around Cody Krutz's head. That might have been painful if they got off the mat.
Sutter's set.
Coach Post saying grab that ankle.
Krutz going to ride from the other side this time. Sutter stands, and he's out right away. It's 4-3. Sutter has to be the aggressor.
No stalling warnings either way.
Looking for a power shrug. 15 seconds. Diving in, Krutz sprawls. Krutz trying to spin around to Sutter's left. Flattens him out, and Krutz will win the bout. He gets the takedown at the buzzer. He will win the bout 6-3 on 2 takedowns and a reversal for Cody Krutz. We are through 5. It's Phillipsburg 18 and Delaware Valley nothing. So the Stateliners have a fall and 4 regular decisions for 18 points. As we go to 106, Derek Skeppens for Delaware Valley. He's a senior, 17-12. And Sean Stashalitis of Phillipsburg, the sophomore, is 10-12. Well, as usual, we have a much taller Sean Stashalitis than Delaware Valley's Derek Skeppens. Skeppens out the left side. Mike Internosha, the referee for this one. Stashalitis trying to lock hands behind the right knee of Skeppens. There's no advantage.
Stashalitis often gets himself in this position. I think he's trying Peterson here.
Skeppens trying to spin around to Stashalitis' left. Stalemate's called by Mike Internosha.
Almost a 5-pound advantage here for Stashalitis. Skeppens beaten by Logan Matsko 5-2 a year ago.
Stashalitis in on the right leg, behind the knee, trying to pick that up over top, drops Skeppens down to his left hip. He's trying to hook Skeppens' right leg. Skeppens has a hand and a wrist behind Stashalitis' left knee. Stashalitis still trying to flatten him out, spin around behind, trying to break that hand and a wrist behind his left knee. Still no advantage. He's trying to turn Skeppens toward his back, but doesn't have any control. Trying to pry those hands apart. Stalemate's called by Mike Internosha with 23 seconds to go. So they've each had decent shots, but neither one able to convert. There's that power shrug by Skeppens, and he's got the takedown to lead 2-0. He missed on that earlier, converted at that time, and Skeppens is out in front 2-0.
It's the first Del Val takedown of the night.
Trying to pop his head out. Skeppens maintains control after one, 2-0.
Wow, he was in a great position there. Just time ran out. As he reached up to grab the head, would have gotten the reversal and some significant back points.
Skeppens defers. Stashalitis is going to go underneath to start the second. Skeppens was 4th in the district last year, 3rd in the Goals Holiday Tournament, and 4th in the 100 and Sussex Warren. Has 37 career wins. Stashalitis trying to come out and face him. Front-headed arm by Skeppens. An escape for Stashalitis. It's 2-1. And there's that power shrug again by Skeppens. And he has the takedown. 4-1 Skeppens. Traps the left leg of Stashalitis. Stashalitis trying to turn back into Skeppens. Skeppens is still in control. Stashalitis trying to reverse here, cross-facing Skeppens. Skeppens keeping his hips up. Did a good job to maintain control there with a minute to go in the second.
Yeah, that was all hip movement.
Stashalitis is out. On the escape, it's 4-2.
A block off that power shrug this time.
Dives in a double. Drops Skeppens down to his left hip. Still no advantage. Stashalitis locking his hands, trying to come up the body. Stateliner fans say he's got his hands locked. That's 2. Still no advantage. Stashalitis trying to throw that leg over top of him. Skeppens is locked through the crotch. 2 takedown for Stashalitis. And after 2, the bout is tied at 4.
Nice finish there for Stateliner to stay with it.
Skepin's choice. He'll go underneath. This is another one that Del Val head coach Andy Fitz thought they had to have if they're going to knock off the Stateliners tonight. Stateliner riding out the right side. Stateliner trying to work a tilt.
Let's go, D. Work. Move.
Skepin's trying to tear those hands apart, that tight waist apart, tries to stand, does stand, tears the hands apart, he's out. Then he's trying to, again, power shrug. Del Val says he's got 2. No advantage, says Mike Internosha. Still no advantage. There's a takedown for Skepins, and Skepins leads 7-4. Stateliner trying to pop his head out the right side. He's got his hands locked behind the right knee of Skepins. Stalemate's called at 51 seconds. Stachelitis underneath. Right hand tight waist, left elbow. Stachelitis stance has the escape. 7-5, Skepins. Stachelitis trying to reach for the right leg. Dives in on that right leg again. Skepins sprawls. Front head and arm by Skepins. .20 seconds to go in the bout. Stachelitis tried to post the left wrist. Stachelitis dove in. There's a stalling warning against Skepins. Front head and arm by Skepins. Stachelitis trying to work a butt drag. 2 seconds. Tried to hook the leg, could not get that leg hooked. And Skepins will win a 7-5 decision at 1:06. We're through 6. Del Val's on the board. It's Phillipsburg 18 and Delaware Valley 3.
It's a well-contested match.
James Day for Phillipsburg at 113. He is a sophomore, Day, 21-6. Robert Grogan is a sophomore, 15-12 for Delaware Valley.
Both at 115. Day a 10-0 winner at 100 and Sussex Warren.
Day with a big pad, brace in the right knee. .15 seconds gone, no advantage. Day working a Russian tie in a right arm. Dives in a double at the edge. Trying to pick up Grogan. Steps through. Takedown for Day, and they're off the mat.
Used every inch of the surface there.
Day on top, 2-0. Grogan set. Day left hand tight waist. Left hand 5 pry. Weight high on the back of Grogan. There's a hazard tilt. Grogan rolls on through. Day controlling the left wrist. Gives up on that. He will cut Grogan. Day's on top. 2-1 here in the first. Half a shot by Grogan. Front head and arm by Day. Day's in on the right leg. Trying to get to a double. Trying to pull that right leg through. Grogan reaches back for a whizzer with his right arm. Day trying to pick up the right leg. And lost Grogan. Day with half a shot at the right leg. Power shrug attempted by Grogan at the edge, and they're off. No advantage, says referee Frank Leitner. Good crowd on hand tonight at Phillipsburg High School. This is the 44th meeting between Phillipsburg and Delaware Valley. Been a very competitive series. Day in and converts. 4-1, and Day rides out the first period. Day finishing third in District 13 last year, sixth in the region. Grogan's choice, and he takes neutral in the second. Day finishing fourth in the Dvorak tournament in Chicago, fifth in the Hurricane, third in the Hunter and Sussex Warren, and he's ranked fourth in this weight class by Lehigh Valley Live. Day reaches for the right leg, can't pull it in. Hand fight outside the center. Day tries to, looking for a high crotch. Trying to underhook the right shoulder. Grogan circled at the edge. And Day circles back in. Day trying to snap and set up a throw, and they're off in front of the Del Val bench with a minute to go in the second.
Just looked like Grogan was trying to burn some clock with that lock up there near the edge.
He dives in. Day sprawls, tried to come around to his right. Grogan blocked him off with his right arm.
Day's got the longer and stronger reach.
In on the right leg. Grogan again reaching back for a whizzer with his left arm. Day slips that and gets the takedown, and they go off across the way. Day with 3 takedowns, now in a 6-1 advantage.
It's basically a repeat of his second takedown.
Day with a right hand tight waist left elbow. Maybe trying to set up a hazard tilt. Riding out the left side. Takes that right wrist. Trying to run a half Nelson out the right side. Grogan picks that off. Day maintaining control. Now wants to hammerlock the left wrist out the left side. And we're through 2. Day's on top, 6-1. Day's choice in the third. And he'll go underneath. Left hand tight waist. Day gets hand control, stands. He's out in 8 seconds. And James Day of Phillipsburg has a 7-1 lead in the third. Stateliners lead the match 18-3. This is the 7th of 14. Power shrug by Grogan. He's behind Day. And a takedown for Day, for Grogan in front of the scores table. It's 7-3 on the power shrug. Stateliners have fallen victim to that a couple of times in the last 2 bouts.
He and Skeppins must use that a lot in the wrestling room for Del Val.
Day has an escape. 8-3.
I mean, that's the only thing that really Grogan was able to use with any effectiveness against Day.
Russian tie by Day. Day has control of that right arm, then drops down to the right leg behind the knee. Gets Grogan in a sitting position, and Day has his 4th takedown. He leads 10-3. He will cut Grogan. It is 10-4, as he'll try to get a takedown to build to the major. In on the right leg. at the edge of the mat. Trying to pull that right leg, pull him back on, then go to a double and covers the ankle, gets a takedown. 12-4. James Day, right in front of our Stateliner Sports camera. Day trying to keep Grogan broken down here with 20 seconds to go. Weight high in the back. Reaching behind the right knee. Looking for a cross-face cradle. Tried to take the right elbow back to the knee. 3 seconds to go. And Phillipsburg's James Day will have himself a 12-4 major decision. We're through 7. It's Phillipsburg 22 and Delaware Valley 3. While we have a chance, I want to pass along our best to the family of Morning Call sports writer Ted Meixel, who passed away this week, a retired Morning Call sports writer. I mentioned a couple of times tonight where the wrestlers are ranked in Lehigh Valley Live. To the best of my recollection, it was Ted Meixel who started ranking wrestlers in their weight classes at the Morning Call. Ted, a very good sports writer, covered football and Lafayette football for a time. He's going to be missed. There's a takedown for Logan Matsko of Phillipsburg at 120. Matsko is a junior, 15-6, facing Cooper Gill of the Terriers. He's a junior, 18-10.
Gill lost 9-0 to James Day last year.
Matsko takes the right wrist. Bars that, and then with the claw on the right shoulder. Now he underhooks the left shoulder with the bar. And going to a half. Gill is able to belly down. Matsko wraps that tight waist around his right side.
There we go. There we go. Fight.
Trying to control the right elbow.
Fight there, Coop.
Under a minute to go here in the first. Matsko trying to turn him to his right on the tilt. 1 count. That's all, says Mike Internosha. Matsko keeping that pressure on top. Claw on the left shoulder. Now trying to set up a hazard tilt. Has a 2-on-1 on the left wrist, but lost it. Now hammerlocking the right wrist in the tilt. 1 count. 1, 2 ones. So Matsko's been able to tilt him, but not hold him. And after 1, Logan Matsko leads 2-0. Gill's choice. He'll go underneath to start the second. Logan Matsko is a defending district and region champion, 4th in the 100 in Sussex Warren. Honorable mention in this weight class. Trying to set up a hazard tilt. Matsko with 65 career wins, 65-30 in his career. Reaching to control the left wrist. Trying to tilt Gill to his right. Claws the right shoulder, trying to work a tilt. He has been able to dominate Cooper Gill here, but has not been able to turn him.
So that tilt, he just seems too tight and parallel.
Trying to work a tilt to the right again. Now, mousetrap. He has him on his back.
This is the Stateliner move of the night here.
He's got 2 back points coming. lot of time yet. Matsko's going to try and roll him back, turn him again. Dave Post is saying scoop that leg under. Now he's tied up the right arm. Trying to hook him with his right leg. 3 back points for Matsko. He's ahead 5-0 here in the second.
It was Gill's choice to go underneath here.
And it's not come close to getting out. Here's a hazard tilt, 1 count, that's all. It's about 4 or 5 1 counts for Logan Matsko. He's ahead 5-0 through 2. Matsko's choice. And he's going neutral. Matsko has a first period takedown, 3 back points. Gill trying to get on a Matsko's right leg to a double. Trying to lift Matsko up over top. Matsko hanging on to the right foot, and a stalemate's called by referee Mike Internosha. Gill finishing 3rd in the Wendy Pandy Lay. He's got 30 career wins for the Terriers. Matsko trying to get in on the left leg. Gill sprawls. Barrel roll by Matsko. In on the right leg to a double. Hooks the leg. Locked through the crotch is Gill. On Matsko. Matsko cross faces him and gets the takedown. Matsko on top, 7-0.
That double's really his best takedown, Mike. It's not so much a great start, but it's a very good finish.
Left hand tight waist. Trying to set up a tilt.
1 minute to wrestle, 1 minute.
Gets in deep on that double. He manages to elevate, uses his head as a lever, and comes around the other side.
Has the right arm barred. Wants to step across. Take Gill over to his left. Gill looks away.
Gill's kind of taking the page out of Southern's, underneath strategy. Give nothing away.
Matsko trying to work a tilt at the edge of the mat in front of the Stateliner bench. Trying to work a hazard again. Matsko got caught underneath there momentarily. Peterson attempted, but Matsko's still in control and are off at 17 seconds. Matsko's usually pretty aware of where he is on top.
He had himself in a bad hip spot.
Let's go, Coop. Nice work, Gil. Time on the clock. Let's go.
But he righted himself before it became problematic.
Matsko will cut him. 7-1. Matsko trying to get in on that double to get a major decision. Drops Gill down to his right hip. Gill staying locked through the crotch. Matsko cross faces, gets the takedown with 4 seconds to go. And a 2 count, 3 count on the back points. That's a 4-point play for Logan Matsko. And he will win an 11-1 major decision at 120. We're through 8. It's Phillipsburg 26 and Delaware Valley 3. Should be a good one here at 126. Gage Crater of Delaware Valley. He's a senior, 25-4. For Phillipsburg, it's sophomore Joe Innamorato. He's 19-6.
Innamorato's got a half pound on Crater.
He's trying to snap down Crater with a front head and arm. Got him down on one knee. Crater staying up on his left foot. Innamorato on one knee, now up to his feet. Off they go, no advantage. Statewide rankings, Stateliners 10th in NJ.com. They will be updating tomorrow. That's behind Bergen Catholic, Del Barton. Innamorato get in on the right leg. Hand and a wrist locked behind the right knee. Crater has the left ankle of Innamorato and trying to spin around Innamorato's right. Trying to pry those hands apart behind his right knee. Still no advantage here. Stalemate's called by referee Frank Leitner at 53 seconds. North Hunterdon ranked third at NJ.com. Camden Catholic is fourth. Howland fifth. And 6 through 9 is Kingsway, St. Joe's of Montvale, Southern, and St. Augustine.
Crater beat Matsko 8-6 in the Hunterdon Sussex Warren this year.
Stateliners are also ranked 10th by the Wrestling Writers Association. Behind Bergen Catholic, Delbarton, Camden Catholic, North Hunterdon in 4th, Kingsway in 5th, and then Howell, St. Augustine, St. Joe's, Montvale, and Southern.
12 seconds.
No scoring, but an entertaining first period here at 132.
5 seconds.
Excuse me, 126. Gage Crater and Joe Innamorato. No score after one.
After 1 period, we have no score.
Innamorato will go down to start the second. Joe's a defending district champ, 5th in the region last year, 100 Sussex Warren runner-up. Honorable mention in this weight class by NJ.com. He has 35 career wins. He sits. Crater wanted to try and check him back. Innamorato back to his base. Crater riding out the left side. Controlling the left wrist of Innamorato. Or running a half Nelson from the left side. Innamorato trying to pick that off. Now he gets the legs in. Trying to drive that half from the left side. Innamorato trying to stand, and Crater brings him back. Tried to check him back and turn him. Takes the left wrist. Trying to hammerlock that wrist and run a half from the right, reverse half from the right side. Under a minute to go here in the second. Innamorato reaching back behind the right knee of Crater. Trying to bring him out in front of him. Innamorato stands, and Crater brings him right back down.
40 seconds.
One-on-one on the left wrist. Controlling that left wrist. 30 seconds to go here in the second.
This was Innamorato's choice. He really has not come close. He's not separated himself from Crater, let alone getting out.
Crater trying to sink the left leg and get both legs in. Turn him with a power half. Stalemate's called at 5 seconds. Innamorato will get set. Now Crater. Crater will ride out the second. We have no score after 2. Crater's choice in the third. Or excuse me, Innamorato's choice. And he chose.
That was Crater's choice. Innamorato
He
said
cut him.
him.
Okay,
Yep.
sorry. Cut him right away. So it's 1-0 Crater. Front head and arm by Innamorato. Had Crater down to his right hip momentarily, trying to spin around the right side. Head outside the right side. Crater spinning with him. Innamorato trying to use that front head and arm. Crater has him blocked off with his right arm. Trying to snap him down, get him off his left foot. Now back up to their feet. Stalemate's called by Frank Leitner. You have 1:19 to wrestle. Innamorato trying to tie up the right arm. One minute to go in the bout. Crater on top, 1-0.
No stalling warnings either way.
Battle between the 25-4 Crater and the 19-6 Innamorato. Crater last year was a district runner-up. He has a front head and arm now on Innamorato. Up to their feet. This would be, by the way, Crater's 100th win if he can get it. 99 career wins. He's locked through the crotch on Innamorato. Innamorato trying to pick up the right leg, get him to a sitting position. 8 seconds to go. Innamorato trying to pry the legs apart. Crater stays locked. Crossface! He got the takedown with under 2 seconds to go, and Innamorato wins 2-1.
That was a heck of a finish. Hip position once again.
2.1 seconds to go, and Joe Innamorato got himself a takedown.
Looked for all the world, Mike, like Crater was just going to be able to hold on there.
We are through 9. It's Phillipsburg 29 and Delaware Valley 3. Jason Tino for the Stateliners at 132. He's a junior, 16-12. Chase Christie for Delaware Valley, a senior, 15-13.
And that's one of the blessings of wrestling, is even in a lopsided match, you can get a really good bout.
Yeah, Crater had been a goals tournament champ, was third in the 100 Sussex Warren. Here's a Tino cannot finish at the edge. Back to the center.
Tino lost to A.J. DeRosa 10-0 last year. And Christie was pinned by Travis Jones.
In on a leg, Tino to a double. Picking up on those legs, still no advantage. As Christie has him blocked off, left arm. Tino trying to come up the body here. And there's a takedown. 2-0 for Jason Tino. Trying to work a power half. Has the right leg in. Stretches out, Christie. Trying to work the power half, turn him to his left. Tino sneaks a look at the clock, and we're down to 40 seconds in the first. Stateliners have dropped just one bout through the first 9. They have 5 regular decisions, 2 majors, and a fall. Del Val has a regular decision.
Takedowns, Phillipsburg leads 16-3. All 3 came in the 106 bout for Delaware Valley.
I think James Day gave up one, too. At the end of 1, 2-0, Jason Tino.
Right you are.
Tino will go underneath to start the second. Jason finishing 4th in the Dvorak tournament, 6th in the Hurricane. Or excuse me, it is Christie who's going down in the second.
They changed up.
As Christie stood, Tino went in on a double, maintains control.
I think Tino thought it was his choice.
Jason with 22 career wins. Christie of Delaware Valley has 30. He finished 4th in this year's goals. Had 13 wins a year ago. Tino trying to work a power half. Stretches out Christie and trying to turn him to his left. Now trying to drive that power half. Now he has the left arm barred. Left arm barred. And wants to try to drive Christie to his right. Traps the left leg. Has not been able to turn him. Mike Internosha looking in there. He's trying to reach with his right arm. Now driving, has the bar and a half on the right side. Trying to turn him. Now he takes the right wrist with a half. 15 seconds to go here in the second. Another period where Stateliner wrestler has dominated on top here, but not been able to score any back points.
Yeah, he had that arm pinned very well, but couldn't get anything to go with it. And Christie stayed flat, did not allow himself to be turned.
2-0 Tino after 2, and Tino will take underneath in the third.
He previewed this choice at the start of the last period.
You know, the bouts that Andy Fitz thought there's an escape for Tino. He's up 3-0. That Del Valle could be most competitive in. I mean, they have been. But they've just not been able to eke out any wins. Christie dives in on Tino's right leg. Tino trying to horse his way around to Christie's left and has a takedown. Tino's on top 5-0, so he successfully counters the takedown attempt by Christie. He has the left arm barred. Sitting on top of that arm. He's going to cut him. It is 5-1. And we'll work takedowns. So we come up on a minute to go in the bout. Tino get in on the right leg as Christie in a sitting position.
I think Tino wanted to go double, and Christie kind of collapsed to try to block him off.
Tino still has the right leg. Trying to drive through. Out the side, and Tino has a takedown. 7-1. Tries to throw the left leg in. Wants to work that power half again. Turn Christie to his left.
He's 0 for 3 on that. It's just not working tonight.
Reaches inside for the left wrist. 15 seconds to go. To try and wants a near leg far arm tilt. And Jason Tino of Phillipsburg going to win a 7-1 decision at 1:32. We are through 10, and the Stateliners have an insurmountable 32-3 lead.
6 regular decisions for Phillipsburg is unusual.
Yep. Corey Crater for Delaware Valley at 138. He's a junior, 16-13. And for Phillipsburg, this will be freshman Hunter Cleaver, 4-6.
Corey Crater was pinned a year ago by TJ Abode.
Trying to work a front head and arm. Stateliners have won 9 bouts of the 10 wrestled for 32 points. There's a barrel roll by Crater and a takedown. Crater leads 2-0. Trying to run a half Nelson from the right side. Cleaver stands. Mat return by Crater. Cleaver sits, turns in. And he has a reversal. Cleaver's tied the bout at 2. Works a trip, get Crater back to his knees. Trying to get the left leg in to trap the right leg of Crater. Pressure on the head.
Get off his leg. Straighten out your leg, get off.
Cleaver left hand thigh pry.
Get off his leg.
Trying to work the mouse trap. Takes the right wrist, then gives up on that. Riding out the right side on Crater. Gage and Corey Crater are brothers. Traps the right wrist. And a half, reverse half from the left side. Trying to set up that mouse trap, and Crater has grabbed at the left leg, which is what Cleaver wants, and then sinking that half. Crater trying to come out the back door, and Cleaver managed to dive and keep that left leg, and we're 2-2 after one. Cleaver's choice. He will go underneath to start the second. Left hand tight waist on Cleaver. Cleaver tries to pick off the half Nelson from the right side. Left hand thigh pry by Crater. Then throws the left leg in. Cleaver trying to pull him around out in front. Cleaver stands. Crater on the mat return. Cleaver sits. Crater maintains control. 30 seconds gone here in the second. Trying to run a half Nelson for the right side. Cleaver trying to stand, now sits. Picks off that half Nelson. Now Cleaver tearing at the hands, trying to pry those hands apart. Crater on the return to Cleaver's knees. Left hand thigh pry. Now the left hand, right hand claw on the left shoulder of Cleaver and takes the left wrist. Cleaver stands, trying to tear those hands apart. Stateliner fans want stalling as Cleaver turns in. Cleaver trying, now locked around the midsection of Crater, who's still in control. Trying to pop him out in reverse here. Crater trying to drive through. Now Cleaver trying to pry the hands apart to get one. Has the escape with 15 seconds to go. Again, trying to work a mouse trap. And he's got a takedown and back points. He's got Crater on his back. That's a 4-point play for Cleaver. So he got out to go up 3-2, and a 4-point play. He's up 7-2.
He is good at that move.
Neutral in the third. They each have a takedown. That's good for Crater's 2 points. Cleaver has a reversal, an escape, and 2 back points. He's working on a Russian tie in the right arm of Crater. .30 seconds gone here in the third. Stateliners back here to wrap up the regular season. Barrel roll by Crater. Finishes it for a takedown. It is 7-4.
The same move he used in the first.
Andy Fitz has cut him, but Cleaver got in on the left leg. Escape was not awarded. Crater maintaining control here. There's the escape for Cleaver. It's 8-4 with under a minute to go. Cleaver working on the Russian tie. Back here on Saturday night, 6:50 will be our broadcast time as the Stateliners wrap up the regular season against Ocean Township. See if Crater tries to set up that barrel roll again with 30 seconds to go in the bout. 8-4 lead for Cleaver. Circling right in front of our Stateliner Sports camera. Cleaver pushes his way back in.
15 seconds.
Diving in on a double is Crater. Trying to settle for a single on the left leg, and Cleaver wants that mouse trap again, and there's a takedown for Crater. It is 8-6, and that'll be the final. Hunter Cleaver, the Stateliner freshman, wins an 8-6 decision. We are through 11. It's Phillipsburg 35, Delaware Valley 3. Jared Kukor for Phillipsburg at 145. Kukor is a senior, 15-9. Shane Reynolds for Delaware Valley. He's a senior, 15-11. Kukor pinned Reynolds in 5-11 in the 100 and Sussex Warren. Kukor, the aggressor here, and quickly a stalling call on Shane Reynolds.
That's the fastest one we've seen all night.
Andy Fitz was up and yelling, "What is this sumo?" Kukor spins around to his right, blocked off by the right arm of Reynolds. Kukor trying to work a front end arm and spin. Now he wants to throw Reynolds the other way. Reynolds trying to get in. He's in on the right leg of Kukor at the edge, and off they go neutral. I think Mike Internosha had some response, but his back was to us, and I couldn't exactly pick up what that was. Kukor underhook, snaps. Trying to spin around to the right. Is he going to try and throw him the other way? Head in the side. Still spinning. There's a takedown for Kukor. He leads 2-0. Stateliner is piling up that takedown advantage, although Crater had 3 in the last bout for the Terriers. Kukor underhooks the right shoulder.
Yeah, they're 20-7 on takedowns.
And that's Del Val. They're coming in 3 bouts. 106, 113, and at 138. Kukor maintains control. Reaching inside for the left wrist. Claw on the left shoulder, trying to turn him to his right. 1 count. 1, 2. 2 count for Kukor. 2 back points, and the Stateliner senior has a 4-0 lead after 1. Shane Reynolds will go underneath to start the second for Delaware Valley. Reynolds finished 5th in the Wendy Pandy Lay. 19 career wins for the Terriers. Kukor takes the left wrist. Claw on the left shoulder. Left hand thigh pry. Reynolds trying to come out and face Kukor. He does. On the escape, 4-1 Kukor. Working takedowns. He overpowered Reynolds for a takedown. Trying to snap him down again. Reynolds shoots in on the right leg, and Kukor trying to spin around to his left and does. Counters that takedown attempt. Kukor leads 6-1. This will be Phillipsburg's 38th win in the series, and it's 13 straight for the Stateliners. Last Del Val win coming in 2005 2006. Kukor has the left arm barred. And it's stopped potentially dangerous by Mike Internosha with 37 seconds to go in the second. Kukor left hand tight waist. Claw to the left shoulder, then trying to reach behind the left knee. 20 seconds to go here in the second. Kukor trying to work a tilt to the right. Got a little bit too far out in front. Reynolds blocks off with his right arm, trying to come around and face Kukor. Now stands, he's out with 5 seconds to go. It is 6-2 as we end the second. Kukor's choice. He'll go underneath in the third. Wraps the tight waist around the left side on Kukor. Going cross face. Tight waist right side. Kukor stands, trying to tear those hands apart. Kukor has the escape. Leads Reynolds 7-2 in the third. Kukor has a pair of takedowns. 2 points coming for Reynolds are a pair of escapes.
Circle back to the center.
1:10 to go in the bout.
Reynolds got that quick stalling warning 15 seconds into the bout.
Power shrug for a takedown by Kukor. He leads 9-2. Dave Post says cut him. On the escape, 9-3, and they go off the mat to our right. Kukor with a variety of takedown moves here tonight.
Saw the power shrug early a lot from Derek Skeppens and Robert Grogan.
Kukor is staying after Reynolds. Needs a couple of takedowns. Or, excuse me, needs a takedown and ride out to get the major. Power shrug, gets the leg in, takedown. 11-3, Kukor. Keeping his weight high on the back of Shane Reynolds. Riding out the right side, and Jared Kukor will have a major decision. 11-3 at 145. We're through 12. It's Phillipsburg 39 and Delaware Valley 3. Stateliners have a fall, 3 majors, and 7 regular decisions. Garrett Teddemer for Del Val at 152. He's a freshman, 19-8. And he's the son of Scott Teddemer, a former outstanding Delaware Valley wrestler, part of the 1984 team that knocked off the Stateliners at the pit. Matt D'Onofrio for Phillipsburg. He's a sophomore, 15-11.
Teddemer's got 8 pounds on D'Onofrio.
Coach Post telling me before the mat that from the start of the season till now, Matt D'Onofrio is the most improved guy in the team. Off they go to our right, no advantage. Said he has learned to diversify his takedown attack.
He is strong on his feet. Loves the ankle pick, but he's shown some other moves of late.
And a solid defender. Eyeing each other up right in the center.
Hits that roll from underneath really well too.
D'Onofrio tried to get in on the right leg. Tedemer tries to spin around behind. D'Onofrio's in on the left leg. Tedemer tried to hit a throw. There's still no advantage. Right in front of our Stateliner Sports microphones. D'Onofrio reaching for a leg again at the edge. No advantage, and Tedemer wearing that big face mask heads back to the center. 45 seconds ago, scoreless first. That was a pretty good scramble here on the edge of the mat right in front of us.
A lot of movement there.
Down to 30 here in a scoreless first. This was kind of paw at each other. Frank Leitner is the referee in this one. There's that ankle pick spinning around behind D'Onofrio. He has a takedown. Now trying to work a mat return. And it's 2-0 D'Onofrio.
He missed the pick, Mike, but he was in such a good position. He was able to come around behind.
Stayed on the attack and got the takedown. 2-0 D'Onofrio after one. D'Onofrio will go underneath to start the second. Matt finishing 5th in the Bethlehem Holiday, 8th in the Bethlehem Holiday, 5th in the 100 in Sussex Warren. Trying to crawl away from Tedemer. Sit spins. Tedemer trying to maintain control here. Hooks D'Onofrio's left leg. Maintains control of him on the edge of the mat in front of the Terrier bench. Tedemer riding out the left side. Off the mat they go at a minute 19 to wrestle in the second. D'Onofrio tried to roll. Tedemer maintains control.
He's cleared his hips a couple times, but Tedemer stayed with him.
Trying to set up a power half with 1 minute to wrestle second period. Takes D'Onofrio's right wrist. Tedemer has the left leg in. Stalemate's called by referee Frank Leitner at 43 seconds. D'Onofrio set. Tedemer underhooks the left shoulder, tried to check back D'Onofrio.
He's gotten those legs in quickly. D'Onofrio tried to catch the foot and come out through the back door both times. Was not able to do anything with it. Has not tried the shoulder roll. This was D'Onofrio's choice to go underneath and really hasn't come close to getting free.
Tedemer controlling the right wrist. He's not come close to turning D'Onofrio, though, either in this period, and Tedemer trails 2-0.
Yeah, with the leg in, D'Onofrio's just been belly down, not giving him anything.
So we're through 2-0 D'Onofrio. Tedemer's choice in the third. Tedemer underneath, and D'Onofrio is going to cut him. So it's 2-1 D'Onofrio, and we work takedowns in the third. Wrestlers eye each other up in the center. Either one has taken a shot here. We've wrestled 20 seconds in the third.
D'Onofrio landed his takedown in the first with less than 30 seconds to go.
And was able to ride out Tedemer. D'Onofrio's in on the right leg, trying to go to a double. Tedemer around the head, tries to headlock D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio slips it, and a takedown for D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio leads 4-1. Coach Post also telling me before the matches that Tetemer stands that D'Onofrio leads the team in takedowns. Stalling call on D'Onofrio and an escape for Tetemer. It's 4-2 D'Onofrio. Tetemer's got to be the aggressor. 50 seconds to go in the bout.
Let's go. Keep working there. Keep working.
Gary, you're losing by 2. Let's go.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Tie up.
Let's go, Gary.
30 seconds to go. They break apart. Tetemer backpedals to the center.
Attack. Attack.
Reaches for a leg, can't get it. D'Onofrio pushed him away. D'Onofrio with half a shot on the right leg. Tetemer draped over top. Now has Tetemer in a sitting position. D'Onofrio close to finishing this. Tetemer trying to lock through the crotch. Hit and hip up. D'Onofrio still has that leg, and D'Onofrio will win a 4-2 decision at 152. We head to the final bout of the night. It's Phillipsburg 42 and Delaware Valley 3. Stateliners have a fall, which was in the first 16 seconds of the evening. 3 majors and 8 regular decisions. Jay Polito for Phillipsburg at 160. He's a sophomore, 3-3. And for Delaware Valley, it's Tyler Lagan. He's a freshman, 9-10. Lagan trying to snap down Polito. Lagan reaches for the right leg of Polito, can't pull it in. Wrestled 30 seconds, no advantage here at 160. Lagan weighs 156.3.
157 for Polito.
Polito trying to underhook the left shoulder. We've wrestled a minute, no advantage.
Circle it. Circle it. Stay low. Circle. Circle. Come back to the center.
Shrug, power shrug. Polito's behind Lagan. Dave Post yelling big lift, and at the edge he lost him, no advantage. Could not get control. It's an anguished Dave Post that he did not finish that takedown.
Yes, really wanted that one.
30 seconds to go. Scoreless first. He got behind him. Couldn't get him to the mat.
Lagan reached back to pull on the leg of James Polito, and I think
he's behind him again at the edge of the mat. Trying to trip with the right leg. Now Lagan caught that leg coming in. Polito is draped over top of him at the edge, and a walk-off potentially dangerous at 4.1 seconds.
You have 4 seconds here.
Lagan fakes the shot. And we have another scoreless first period. Lagan's choice. He's going underneath to start the second. Lagan finishing third in the Wendy Pandy Lays. Honorable mention in this weight class by Lehigh Valley Live. Polito breaks him down, takes the right wrist. Riding out the left side, trying to get the right leg in. Cross faces him. Now Lagan controlling the left wrist of Polito. He's able to free that wrist. Lagan to his base. Polito has the legs in. Looking for a near leg far arm tilt. Breaks down Lagan. Let's try and turn him to his left. Under a minute to go here. Polito's been able to maintain control on Lagan. Can't turn now. He sinks the right leg in. Stalemate's called by Mike Internosha at 45 seconds to go. Right hand tight waist. Throws the left leg in. You know, I don't have it with me, Bob, but I'm willing to bet this is Del Val's low point output in this series. And this is not, this is not a bad Del Val team.
Phillipsburg has won some close bouts along the way here.
Polito with under 10 seconds to go trying to ride out.
3-0 for Pearson at 82. 2-1 for Wicks at 95. 6-1 for Horvath at 220. 6-3 for Krutz at 285.
Polito rides out. No score as we head to the third. He'll be underneath.
2-1 for Inamorado at 126. 8-6 for Cleaver at 138. 4-2 for D'Onofrio at 52.
Hey, you total up the bout points. The bout points difference probably doesn't total 39.
Yeah.
Polito trying to kick away. Stalling called on top on Lagan. He's going to cut Polito now after the stalling warning.
Let's go.
On the escape, Polito's on top 1-0.
Polito had the power shrug 3 times to get an advantage and could not finish. Tried to trip twice and elevate once.
He definitely came the closest on their feet. Lagan with half a shot at a double. Power shrug by Polito. Polito doing the pressuring, and Lagan circles back in and then back pedals to the center as we come up on the 1 minute mark to go in the bout. Polito on top, 1-0. Half a shot again by Lagan.
He has the stalling warning from hanging on the leg early in the period.
Polito wanted a bear hug. Polito's trying to set up a throw here at the edge, and off they go. Interesting, Del Val scored 12 against North Hunterdon, but they gave up 60.
Yeah.
Do we have blood time? Blood time
on the final bout of the night. This is an easy trainer night.
For Lagan with 26 and a half seconds to go. Ed Mancinelli telling folks about the tickets available on Saturday for Monday's sectional quarterfinal with Milburn. And the winner of that one will take on the winner of the 4-5 match between Cranford and Middletown South. That Phillipsburg has never lost a first or second round in the sectionals. They have always made the sectional finals. And as a team, Stateliners are 38 out of 40 in sectionals. All right, they've stopped the blood flow. Lagan, a lot of motion here with under 20 seconds to go. Trying to snap down Polito. That doesn't work. Dives in. Polito sprawls. Polito spins around to Lagan's left. Polito will counter that with a takedown. He's got a 3-0 lead. Lagan stands. Lagan will come out. It's 3-1, and that will be the final. Jay Polito of Phillipsburg, a 3-1 decision at 160. The Stateliners win 13 of 14 bouts tonight, defeating Delaware Valley 45-3. Phillipsburg Delaware Valley Wrestling on the Stateliner Sports Network, brought to you by Rothman Orthopedics. Proud to be the exclusive partner of the NJSIAA and to support Stateliner Athletics. Visit RothmanOrtho.com to make an appointment and stop dealing with pain. Get back to truly living. By Ahart, Frinzy & Smith, recognized as one of the leading insurance agencies in the United States. Find out more at afsinsurance.com. By Urco Credit Union, 450 Hillcrest Boulevard in Phillipsburg and 2240 Northampton Street in Easton. Great rates, low fees. Clean up those after the holidays bills with a low-cost personal loan. Visit us at urcocu.com. By the Firth Youth Center, a proud promoter of youth athletics. Find them at www.firthyouthcenter.com. By Open Mic, for exclusive coverage of the Stateliners and the entire Hunterd and Warren, Sussex area, follow Mike Weileman's blog at mikeopen.blogspot.com. By Welcome to the Pit, a history of Phillipsburg wrestling is available. Order yours on Amazon today. Follow the Stateliners on Facebook at Phillipsburg HS Wrestling. And follow Phillipsburg Wrestling on Twitter at Pberg HS Wrestling. Pberg HS WRESTLIN. So the Stateliners with a dominating performance over the Terriers tonight, 45-3, the final. But really, the final score on the scoreboard doesn't indicate the closeness of the wrestling tonight. It began at 170, where the Stateliners got their only fall in 16 seconds by Nate Sestowney over Nick Ferry, 6-0 Phillipsburg. 182, David Pearson of the Stateliners won a 3-0 decision over Matt Sidebski. 195, Jake Wicks of Phillipsburg won a 2-1 decision over Zach Zukowski. At 220, Gage Horvath of Phillipsburg won a 6-1 decision over Nick Moose. 285, Cody Krutz of Phillipsburg won a 6-3 decision over Ryan Sutter. 106, Derek Skeppens of Delaware Valley won a 7-5 regular decision over Phillipsburg's Sean Stashalitis. 113, James Day of Phillipsburg won a 12-4 major decision over Robert Grogan. 120, Logan Matsko of Phillipsburg won an 11-1 major decision over Cooper Gill. 126, Joe Innamorato of Phillipsburg won a 2-1 decision over Gage Crater. He got a takedown with 2.1 seconds to go and denied Crater his 100th career win. 132, Jason Tino of Phillipsburg won a 7-1 decision over Chase Christie. 138, Hunter Cleaver won an 8-6 decision for the Stateliners over Corey Crater. 145, Jared Kukor won an 11-3 major decision over Shane Reynolds. 152, Matt D'Onofrio of the Stateliners won a 4-2 decision over Garrett Teddemer. And at 160, Jay Polito of Phillipsburg with 3 1/3 period came up with a 3-1 decision over Tyler Lagan. 45-3 Phillipsburg tonight over Delaware Valley. And I had theorized before that maybe the Stateliners actually had more team points than they did in a margin of bouts. But you won 13 out of 14, and you end up on the mat outscoring them by 49 in 14 bouts, and the team score 45-3.
Yeah, that was a performance that tells me that we are ready to win a state title. You want to have your guys ready to rock and roll at this time of year, and that was absolutely what we were looking for. without one little over collar shrug, we might have won all 14. And just the tenacity we wrestled with, I don't think we took. I mean, you guys watched it. I don't know that we took a second off. And that's what we work for in the room. That's why we go so hard. That's why we put all that time in. That we tell the kids all the time, you only get 6 minutes. Like other sports, you get an hour. You only have 6 minutes to showcase your stuff. Why go out there and waste time, right? You have to believe that you're in good enough shape that you can wrestle hard for 6 minutes, and you can, even if you give up a score, you're going to come back and Joey's scenario where you get ridden out. I mean, that's the thing where you could easily hang your head and say, no, this match is over. But that's exactly what we're looking for tonight. Those guys, our guys, they want to come and fight when they go out on the mat, and that's exactly what we did.
I think you got, outside of Nate's 16-second fall, you got 6 solid minutes out of everybody.
Every single wrestler, even at 106, Stash, we were thrilled. We were not that close with him at Pin Cancer, but we were right there. I mean, great leg attacks, just a little bit tentative when we got to the collar. Had we fired off those attacks like the takedowns that we got, had we fired them off, we would have finished a lot higher percentage.
And you easily won the takedown battle.
That's what I was going to ask you. How many did we have? Because I know it was pretty. You have that somewhere?
It is, but here we go. 27-7.
Yeah, I figured it was because we looked really good on our feet. We were very confident and got to our tie-ups. It's really, everybody has their own go-to leg attack. It's can you control the tie-ups to make sure that you can get to your position where you fire off your attack. And we were getting to our underhooks. We were clearing ties off when we weren't in good tie-ups, and just capitalizing when we got to it. We weren't waiting too long. 106 we were talking about, we just waited too long. Once you get to your hook, you got to get going.
One more regular season bout. Things are flying along here in the regular season.
It's going pretty quickly, these guys, they're focused right now. So, we're happy to be here, and we're just, want to ride this thing as long as we can, and I think we'll be ready to go.
Congratulations on the win. We'll see you Saturday night against Ocean Township.
Great. Thank you very much, guys.
Dave Post, head coach of the Stateliners, now 159-25 in this his 10th season. With the win tonight, the Stateliners go to 12-2 on the season. They're now 520, 68-1 against New Jersey competition since 1979-80. And for the school overall, that's win number 987 against 268 defeats and 7 draws all time. In the series with Delaware Valley, Phillipsburg goes to 38-6, and Coach Post goes to 10-0 as the head coach against the Terriers. You have been watching the Stateliner Sports Network's presentation of Phillipsburg High School Wrestling. Repeating tonight's final score, it was Phillipsburg 45 and Delaware Valley 3. Join us for our next broadcast on Saturday at 6:50 when the Stateliners will host Ocean Township. For Bob Kerp, executive producer Jake Kosa, and production associate Dylan Renner, I'm Mike Moore saying thank you for watching Phillipsburg Stateliner Wrestling. Have a good night.